welcome. I'm Jasmine.
I'm Jennifferre.
And we are actually together in Las Vegas. We are here meeting just a bunch of other amazing nurses. And we had this really interesting idea for just a series to help create and inspire other nurses and healthcare providers based on our background. So we are going to start this channel.
Yeah.
And
I just, share with you some of our experiences and what we've learned along the way as being nurses and being nurse entrepreneurs, and all the conversations that we've been able to have with so many amazing people out there who've been great resources and mentors, and just share that with you because it would have been so helpful if we had that. And so we want to offer it to you.
Yeah, and we don't want to charge you. We don't think you need to buy a book on what to do because Lord knows everything I've learned came from mentors who they wanted to share their knowledge and help me grow. And I think
important.
We need to pay it forward and help. So that's what we get to do.
And there's so many other people out there that, I don't know, or you want to learn from people who've done the thing and are in the thick of it. And we're so excited to share our experiences with you and help you along the way in your own journey.
Yeah, and just as a caveat, we are still always learning ourselves.
Oh yeah,
so
100%.
We're just a few steps ahead, probably.
Just a couple.
But we can help everyone who's just still at that basic unit of entrepreneurship and stepping into the world of innovation and how to navigate those things. And that's what we're really excited to do. So
and learn together.
Yeah, we want to inspire. And if we want to make a change in healthcare, it really is going to take a movement of a lot of us. And we've got to be willing to just help support one another in any way that looks like, because
it's everything. People are everything.
On us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Healthcare is counting on us.
Yeah. Our parents are counting on us.
Our parents are counting on us. Our families are counting on us. The list is endless. But really excited to share how you can make an impact as healthcare workers in the system, because there's so much change that needs to happen. There's so much brokenness, and we know the problems better than anyone and are capable of solving them. So just sharing tips and tricks and experiences on how to make that happen and how to do that. So
yeah, and it's really interesting. We had this conversation a few days back, I don't remember, but someone brought up the topic, we always refer to, in nursing at least, we refer to what we do to make things better as a workaround, when really it is innovation. It's not a workaround, because that, I think, shortchanges the idea of what we're doing. And so we really want to help you feel confident in innovation, what that looks like. And so we're going to share a little bit about ourselves and why we would like you to listen to us, why we think we can help you, why we're a good team for that. So let's hear your story. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Jennifferre.
Let's hear my story. I'm going to start with how we met really quickly.
Sure.
And dive in. Because Jasmine was talking about how important mentors were, and in the course of just being nurses and being people and having people pour in, there's actually mentors that brought us together and allowed us to be able to connect. And when you find your people, it's everything. You're able to kind of grow and inspire and share and learn. And that's how we met, through a mentor. And so if we can go ahead and offer any of that your way, we're excited to do so. But happy to share my story. I have been a nurse for the last 12 years or so, and the first part of my journey was working acute care. I was working in acute care, in tele, and back when I started, it was you get what you get. I think I always really wanted to work NICU, even when I was doing when I was in clinicals and stuff, it really resonated with me. But I saw the value in doing acute care to start, because you learn so much time management, and if you have to get floated, you're more comfortable. It just really helped me. So I did acute care in telemetry for a few years, and then I had the opportunity to go work in a NICU, level 4 NICU, which has my heart. I still really adore NICU and the patients and the families. But I did a little bit of per diem work in adults and then I quickly
Fine.
stopped that.
Do you like the adults?
I prefer the babies. Like they're more enjoyable to me, and they're tiny. They're easier to position and turn, and
You just go like this. Boop.
So it's super easy, and you don't have to like find like a group of people to turn your patient or anything like that. It like those small things really matter to me, and the smell is better most of the times. So it's just little things, but did NICU for a while and then found myself in the innovation space, and kind of went down the path of what is innovation, because I think a few years back it was like a hot topic, nursing innovation.
Yeah.
And it lost a little steam in the last couple of years, to be honest, but when it was at its heat, it was like really interesting to me because I always resonated with, you know, wanting to help people, wanted to fix problems. And in nursing, you know, there's like no shortage of people that need to be helped and like problems that need to be solved. It's like literally everywhere. And got really inspired about the possibilities of nurses really diving into innovation, and that we were so capable of being the change, and found myself creating and solving problems and creating solutions and really impacting things where I was. And then it led down to the path of nurse entrepreneurship, which has been a wild ride, but that's like a little bit of the roller coaster.
So what is your role now? What do you do now?
Now I am the co-founder and CEO of ADNI, which is a talent engagement platform built specifically for clinicians by clinicians, and helping really bridge the gap between employers and their nurses, their healthcare workers, and really creating that connectedness, that sense of belonging and value, and supporting them with things that are tangible and things that are practical that we need on a daily basis. So a platform that encompasses CEUs and financial and mental health wellness resources, but also your scrubs and your helpful clinical resources and things that are going to be helpful for you professionally. Gift cards like Starbucks and coffee, because that's always important. I believe we have like caffeinated chocolate on there too, but it's a really
those are good.
They're super good.
Whoever makes those.
I know. Well, you can find them on the platform if you want to, but there's tons of things that are like valuable to us. And then we really love the idea of supporting other healthcare entrepreneurs who've created different products, resources, services that could be supportive of us as people. And so 65% of the sellers and products within the marketplace that we've created are founded by other healthcare professionals. So it's like
amazing.
Sweet place to be able to help employers, help their staff, but help clinicians and help healthcare workers with the products that they've created, connect with other healthcare workers. So
what's like the one thing that you're most proud of right now with like the product that you have?
I think what I'm most proud of is actually a call that I had a couple hours ago, and I was supposed to get on this call and we were supposed to talk about taxes, because that's super fun. It's an element that you have to work through, but especially in our platform, I was talking to one of our enterprise clients and we were supposed to be talking about taxes, and she ended up sharing that they just received an email from one of their clinicians talking about how she was like super excited to use her points that she got from their employer through ADNI and to use them. And just, it was like another touchstone of connectedness, because she was able to find something of worth and value that she appreciated, and it helped her felt connected to her employer. I know, just like the joy. She was excited. It's not pizza. It's something of value and of worth. And I think that if we could go ahead and create a space where we're pouring value and worth and supporting our nurse workforce, our healthcare workforce with things that actually matter to them as people and professionals, then that matters. And I think we've all felt that devalued in our profession at some point, or not as appreciated.
Yes.
In our workspace and our cultures that have been created. And I love the idea of building this platform to really come along and support. And ADNI is actually the Latin root word of support and lean on. And so
I love that.
Right? So that's the goal and the mission, and what we're super proud of being able to do.
Oh, that's amazing. That's like a really empowering and just beautiful mission to have. And like that feeling of connection, I think is so important. Like we've got to find ways to feel more connected to each other, to our clients, to our
patients,
everyone.
Yeah, everyone. It makes such a huge difference in like patient outcomes and our joy of going to work and our like not having that dread and being like excited to be able to talk with your colleagues and like interact with everybody and build those relationships. And I think that it has gotten lost and muddied over the years because of so many different reasons, but being able to find pockets of joy again and feel valued, I think, is everything.
Yeah. And I get to kind of do that too.
You do, because you're going to tell me all about what you do, which she's so amazing. So if you,
she is too.
No, she is too. But what do you do? What are you up to? What is your role? Tell the fine people.
Oh, so I actually never thought I'd become a nurse. It was like never my plan. I was like not one of those nurses that had like generations of nurses ahead of me or around me to even know what nursing does. Like I didn't know. I just kind of went along with the stereotypes of like nurses just follow orders and they don't like they don't have power to do things. And it wasn't until my grandmother had head and neck cancer that we really got to experience nursing firsthand. And we had to take her home after having a trach placed and a peg, and she had wounds.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, like, we took her home, and home health only covered 3 one-hour visits a week of nursing care. And I just was like, I was in college at the time, not studying nursing, thinking like, oh my gosh, like, how do people do this? I'm so overwhelmed. My family was overwhelmed. And I just thought it was normal. Like, I thought that who am I to complain? Who am I to say anything? Because like, this is what everyone goes through and nobody talks about it, right?
Yeah.
So like, she went through this whole process. Her hospice nurse was like the one who did it for me though, because she created the most beautiful bond with her. And her hospice nurse, Lori.
Shout out to Lori.
Shout out to Lori. I wish I could find her. She made my grandmother promise at some point in the 2 weeks that she was in inpatient hospice that she needed to be there when she died.
That's so sweet.
And she did. We watched my grandmother take 1 to 2 breaths a minute, like all day until Lori got onto her shift.
Oh my gosh, that's so hard. Oh my goodness.
Oh my
it's
God.
A long day for you.
It was a long day. And we kept giving her permission. We're like, Grandma, it's okay. Like, you can go. But she had this promise with this nurse. And so the nurse came on for night shift and saw that the light was on still outside. And she like ran in. She was like, oh my God, Sophie, I can't believe you're still here. Give me a second. Let me go put my things down, grab a report. I'll be right in. And she came in and like leaned into the side of my grandmother and whispered in her ear, Sophie, it's okay. You can go now. And my grandmother took her last breath and that was it. And I was like, oh my God, like the power of nursing is like so much more than I ever realized. So that inspired me to become a nurse, right?
Yeah.
And then I became a nurse and I realized that we send home so many people that have such incredible complexities, and we just wrongly assume that because they have home health
or family members
that they're really set to go. And like 1 to 2 hours, 3 hours of nursing visits a week, if they're lucky, like on Medicare, they have like really short amount of time with nurses. We're not really setting them up for success.
No.
And so really what I'm doing is like my personal mission is I want to bring nursing back to joy. Like I want nurses to re-experience like why you became a nurse in the first place. But my company, Navi Nurses, is all about allowing the ordinary person to hire a nurse on demand for whatever they need, just by the hour. And we match the nurses based on the needs of the person, and it's just so beautiful to let
what
nurses...
nursing should be.
Exactly.
Yes, who nurses should be. That's so beautiful.
It's so powerful. And so like I wake up every day to the most amazing texts from nurses and saying thank you so much for creating this, like this is the only reason why I'm still a nurse, or patients who were like, oh my God, like you made such a difference for me and my family. So that's what I get to do now. And so I've like been away from the bedside. I was a nurse for 13 years, or I have
You are a nurse.
I have been a nurse for 13 years.
For 13 years.
Right. Well, I'm still a nurse.
You are a nurse, yes.
Still a nurse. But at 2 years, I've been away from the bedside.
Yeah.
I think similar to you, actually. You've been off the bedside for about the same amount of time.
Yeah, coming May is 3 years.
Wow.
And it's gone by quick. And that was like, that's a whole nother topic, transitioning from working bedside to not, if that's a decision that you end up making in life. But
we can talk about that.
We can talk about another time, because that is a doozy. But yeah, about along the same amount of time that we've been out. And it's just been a wild time.
Are you afraid? Would you be afraid to go and take care of patients now?
Oh my gosh. You know what? I feel like if it was like the intermediate babies and like discharge education and things like that, I would be okay. But I don't know if I would be like down for the sickest of the sick at the moment.
Yeah.
I've taken care of the sick of the sick before, but I don't know if I think I would like need a moment to like redo myself, and I had to redo my certification. And so I had to like take all these tests beforehand because I was so nervous that I was just gonna bomb. I didn't, by the way.
Of course you didn't.
I didn't.
You're smart.
But I was so nervous because, like, you know, I was under the mentality if you don't use it, you lose it. But it's always there, I think.
It is.
Like riding a bicycle.
I think it's kind of true. But I mean, I definitely struggle with that anxiety. Like if I had to go back and work in the hospital, I'd probably be like, oh my God, what am I doing? But I think like I had to put an IV in someone like a few months ago, and I was like, okay, I still got it. No Activate, no vein finder, like nothing. I did it. Like this isn't as hard as I thought. And it was like a different like set too, which, you know, like those always have like an adjustment too if it's like a different needle than you're used to like using. But I was so proud of myself. I'm like, okay, I can still
go
put my
Jasmine. Yeah.
It's like the small things.
It's the small things that I miss. What I do though, I do miss the patient care aspect of it. I do. Some of like the administrative stuff I don't miss, and like bits of things of that nature. Like, but I do miss the caring for patients. And so now the healthcare workers and other nurses are kind of like my patient. We get to like pour into them and support them. So that's good.
Yeah. And this is probably like another topic we can like talk about later too. But I know that when I left, it was like the tail end of COVID, and like our unit was a COVID unit.
Thing, yeah.
And just like the guilt of like leaving the unit to step away and build this was actually really hard because I felt like I was deserting my colleagues and like, oh my God, I'm deserting the system. But I've had to just reframe my mind that like I'm taking a different direction now that I know will hopefully impact so many more people, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that makes it okay. And it just does. Like, okay, we're doing this. We're going.
Making a decision that's good for you, but you know, the dividends for healthcare in general are just so vast with what you're doing, which I'm so excited for you. Be able to like dig in and dive in more.
Okay, and this is like the perfect example of like why you need someone, because like stepping away and doing this is not easy, and you need people around you, and you need a good support system to help guide you and to like help you think through things and big decisions that you're going to be making. And so I think one of the things that really prompted this is that we realized that there really aren't nurse innovators like that around above us that have gone there, they've been there, they've done that, and they can give us this advice. Like most of my mentors have come from the business space, in like marketing, finance, like all the different areas you need in business. But like it would be so nice to have
a nurse who's been able to, who understands what it is to take care of patients and what it is to like have an idea and want to make healthcare better and have that driver, but also have the experience of so you need to come up with a logo, like all business model. You need a business model and like all the things in between that, you know, we didn't come out of nursing school knowing 100%. We didn't
at all.
No, absolutely not. Or we didn't come out of, because we both worked like a decade or so like bedside before, like whatever, nearly. And then, but we didn't come out of even those years of like clinical experience knowing fully how to run a business. But it was a lot of like growth mindset and utilizing resources, finding mentors and leaning into people. But none of those people were like nurses who've done it. And so we love the idea of creating that space and hopefully encouraging and inspiring other folks.
Yeah, and pointing you in the direction of resources and like helping you discover. I mean, I think the thing about entrepreneurship, no matter what it is that you're doing or no matter like what your background is like you get to create your own adventure. Like you're
So true.
You're picking like everything along the way, and you're gonna fail. And actually, you want to fail. You want to fail fast. You want to learn quickly.
Fail forward,
Fail forward, and just get right back up. And you get to create your path.
You do. And like every experience, whether or not you feel like you failed or not, it's an experience that you take and you are able to apply it to a similar scenario moving forward, and it's lessons learned. So it's really never a fail. It's just it didn't work out, and you try something else again and you iterate it until you get it right, because the no's are plenty. But I mean, if you're super passionate about what you're doing and why you're creating what you're creating, then and that can sustain you and like result in making something truly, change worthy.
Yeah. So what our goal is we just decided we want to kind of introduce ourselves, share a little bit about our story. You'll learn more about us and what we're doing, like as the episodes just kind of continue to evolve and come forward. But like, we want you to be able to take away any of the wisdom that we have. And hopefully it's like insightful. It makes you think differently. Hopefully it's inspiring on some level, like, because we've made, and I don't like to say that they're mistakes, because they're just decisions that didn't go the way that you had planned is how I see it.
Yeah.
But you've still learned from them. But like, how can you
learn from
our decisions that we would have done differently? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then just using that. So like, I know you probably have like tons of mentors. Like I have tons of mentors, and you hear like 50 different things of what you should be doing, and everyone tells you something different.
How do you focus in, and what is important for you? Because like really nobody understands your idea and your business more than you do. And so being able to kind of synthesize all of that and move forward with what is your North Star, but still is smart and good decision making. Like all of those things are super important. And we're very excited to be able to take everything that we've learned from like different mentors and resources and kind of give it to you.
Yes, it's like our gift.
Our gift to you.
Our gift.
And being able to connect with you. So if there is anything specifically that you're wanting to know or learn about in the area of creating an idea within your hospital or entrepreneurially, like a topic, a person, like put it in, let us know, give us feedback. We'd be happy to dive into those and talk about things that are important to you and share more about our experience and kind of point you, like Jasmine said, in the right direction, or point you in a direction of folks that would be helpful in that space. But so I guess this is the point where we're like and share or follow.
share, follow, right? The video. And like, we encourage like all nurses, all healthcare providers. Like I know I listen to podcasts and I follow so many people outside of my discipline. So like this can be truly for anyone that has an idea.
What do you do with it?
That's like, okay, I've got this idea, but like what do we do?
What's next?
It's daunting to be like, who can help me? Like, where do I go? What do I even need to be thinking about? And
it can be overwhelming. It's like the overwhelming aspect of it. And then you just don't know where to stop. And there's pause on something that's
pause.
Pause.
When
if you don't know what to do with your idea. But that's not the case here, because we're going to tell you exactly what to do with your idea so that it can be shared with other people and you can go forward and create change where you are. So excited to be able to dive more into that as we get through these episodes.
Yeah. All right. Take care.
Bye, everyone.